Hello, my name is Damien Cervantes, and today I'll be telling you about my story. So I grew up in a very Catholic household. I remember going to church every Sunday with my mom, and I remember spending the weekdays at church as well with my grandma. She was taking care of us, so she'd be cleaning or cooking or doing whatever she needed to do. And so obviously I knew the stories of God, I knew the stories of Jesus, but I didn't really know what that meant, and I didn't really know what a relationship with Jesus looked like. So going into high school, I remember being on varsity pretty much from the start, and I remember feeling a big ego boost and a big confidence boost from that. And so sooner or later, I started hanging out with the wrong people. I started selling drugs, I started having intercourse with women, and just living life like I wasn't supposed to. Going into my junior and senior year, I was the captain of the varsity team, and I remember, so as you'd imagine, that level of confidence and ego only grew. And I remember thinking that it had no consequences, and so I just kind of lived like that. It wasn't until I came to Colorado that I saw it had consequences. I remember having a hard time adjusting to a new environment, new people. I remember having a hard time balancing relationships with my friends, with relationships with my family, to this relationship that I was having with this girl at the time. And I remember having a hard time adjusting to it all. And yeah, sooner or later it ate me up, and it all came crashing down. As you'd imagine, that's pretty tough. I remember feeling very lonely, and yeah, I remember I believed in God, but I just kind of believed that He wasn't rocking with me. And yeah, I knew He worked miracles, but I just kind of believed that He skipped me and moved on to the next person. So yeah, I just kind of lived like that. I was content with that. It wasn't until I came back from my sophomore year that my beliefs started to change. I remember meeting Kevin. It was preseason, and the church was providing dinner for us. And it was one of those things that coach comes up to us and was like, "All right, they're doing this for us, so we're gonna go in, behave ourselves, and get some dinner and get out." And I kind of went into it with that mentality. I didn't really think that it would be this impactful to me, that it would be home to my new church and kind of change my life. I remember meeting Kevin. He came up to me and started talking to me, and he started trying to be my friend. I remember thinking he was cool. And sooner or later, he invited me to church. And I remember feeling very hesitant about that. I remember giving so many excuses. I was telling him, I'm like, "I'm Catholic, man. You don't want me here. Like, I've done so many bad things. Like, nah, man. I'm cool." And he was like, "Nah, man. Like, you're cool, man. You don't have to. You're forgiven for all that. You don't have to worry about that. Just come to church." And even then, I was really hesitant about it. I remember telling him, "All right, if I give you my phone number and you text me and remind me, then I'll be here." And I remember that Saturday came, and we were traveling back from an away game. And I checked my phone, and it's a text from Kevin. He said, "Hey, there's church tomorrow at 10:30. I want you here at 10:15. You better be here." And so I remember thinking, wow, this guy doesn't even know me, and he's taking a chance on me, and he's showing me that he cares about me. So let me return the favor. Let me take a chance on him. Let me take a chance on this whole Christian thing. And yeah, I showed up for church that day, and I remember walking into the building and feeling God's presence in my life from the get-go, and I couldn't really get enough of it. I remember him telling me that there was Bible studies that same Sunday, and I was hooked. I started learning so much, and I couldn't really get enough. And so yeah, now I'm just trying to live life like that and grow that. I remember the idea of being baptized came into my mind, and I remember feeling like I wasn't ready for it. I soon came to realize that most of the time you're gonna feel like that, and it comes down to a leap of faith. And so I texted him. I was like, "Hey, let's do it. Let's set aside a date, and let's just knock it out." And so that's what we did. I remember waking up for that day, and I remember feeling God's presence with me. I remember feeling Him with me all throughout that morning, all throughout that day. I remember getting ready for church and getting breakfast with my teammates. I remember them coming here, most of them for the first time. And yeah, I remember feeling pretty much from the start as I was lifted up from that water, I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. And that's not really a feeling that you can explain. So yeah, I think that if there's anything that you're going to take away from this story is that you're never too far gone to proclaim your life to Jesus. And yeah, thank you guys for listening to me.